Hello everyone. Today I've got something pretty cool to show you. It's something I made in FTB. It's a frame quarry, and a frame quarry is something that many people have made before. But because we're using FTB, we have a lot of mods to work with, so I also used a lot of mods to make this. And usually people use block breakers from Red Power to make these quarries, which is a very efficient way, but it makes these really big and clumsy frame quarries. And this thing is really compact, believe it or not, it's really compact for a frame quarry. So it uses Buildcraft to dig, which you're probably familiar with if you ever used Feed the Beast. And let's have a look at how this thing works. So I can either control this by using this little control panel I designed, or I can use this computer here and write a little script which will basically move the quarry in a certain pattern with one press of a button, I guess. So let's first have a look at the control panel, because this is the easiest to understand. There's a total of 7 levers. So the first lever is this one. This is basically a switch between mining mode and moving mode. So mining mode means it's going to move in the direction I pick on one of those levers here and start digging. And it's basically going to dig until it reaches bedrock, and then it's going to reset the whole thing and check if there is a new input or if it's just done. So moving mode, it's just going to move without starting to dig, so very convenient if you want to move it to another place, I guess. So this is mining mode, this is moving mode, so let's just move it. So we just need to give it a short pulse and it's going to move one block in the chosen direction, as you can see, very convenient. And then we can also move it over the y-axis, so if we want to move it up, we just do like so. Move it down, as easy as that. You can also keep these levers activated if you want to move it for more than one block, like so. Works perfectly fine. And yeah, let's also dig a bit, so switch that one and move in the opposite direction. And as you can see, it starts digging using a mining well from Buildcraft. The digging takes longer than the moving, which is kind of logical in my opinion. So really fast, as you can see. To give you a couple statistics, this mining machine is twice as fast as a quarry running at full speed. So with quarry I mean a Buildcraft quarry, and it uses half the energy, so it's 4 times as efficient as a Buildcraft quarry, and it isn't nerfed by GregTech. Yay! And in terms of diamonds, I think you need about 2 or 3 to make this whole thing. I'm not sure though, because I've only built it in creative. So pretty impressive in my opinion, and it also looks a lot more complicated, I guess, than a normal quarry. So let's have a look at the redstone here. Really compact, because I'm using Red Power and ComputerCraft, which basically means a lot of things in a very small place. So every different input has its own color, as you can probably see, and they all go into this rainbow cable, and the rainbow cable is called a bundled cable, and it's basically keeping track of all the different colors of wires that Red Power has. So if we turn on the orange and the yellow, this bundled cable is going to remember that orange and yellow is turned on. So it's basically a really compact way of transmitting a lot of redstone signals at once. So this bundled cable is going into this ComputerCraft computer, which is running a script that's basically assigning a lot of different outputs. So for instance, when we activate the top lever over here, the white wire is going to turn on. So the computer is going to realize this and it's going to say, okay, the white wire is turned on, so I should start moving the quarry. And then depending on whether this lever is turned on or not, so at the moment it's turned off, so it's in digging mode, it's also going to start deploying the mining well we saw earlier. So that's the thing that's basically digging the hole. It's going to deploy that, and it's going to sleep for about 4 seconds, and then it's going to do the next action, which is break the mining well. So it stops mining and reset everything as it was when we started. So how that is done is by using a bundled cable again. So this is basically the output of the computer. So when we flick the lever there, it's going to realize that, say, okay, now turn on this piece of white wire, which is going to turn on this wireless transmitter, which is basically just wireless redstone. The numbers you see are the frequencies, so they don't interfere with each other. And there's also a wireless receiver on the frame quarry, which basically corresponds to one of those. So it's going to activate the white one, for instance, if we activate the white lever. And this means that it's going to send a redstone signal to the movement of that direction. So the 500, for instance, is connected to this piece of redstone dust, which is going to power the frame motor, which is going to move the whole thing by one block in the chosen direction. So every one of those basically corresponds to one direction. Well, that's for the first 6 transmitters. Then the last 2 transmitters, so these 2 are a little bit special. The gray one is basically the next thing that gets activated. So the white one gets activated for about 1.5 seconds, which is enough time to move the whole thing. Then it's like, okay, the quarry is moved. Activate the gray wire, which is corresponding to another frequency. And this is going to activate this receiver, which also has 700, by the way. And this is connected to the deployer. So it's going to deploy the mining well that is currently inside into this spot. The mining well is next to this redstone energy cell. So it's going to receive power and it's going to start digging down. And basically it's going to do that for about 4 seconds. So that's predefined in the ComputerCraft script. And then it's going to be like, okay, we're done digging. Let's activate the next wire, which is the pink one over here. And that's going to activate another frequency, 800. So let's have a look. 800 is this receiver and also the one that is upside down over here. So what these 2 receivers do is deactivate the block breaker here, which is going to break the mining well, which is dispensed right there. And it's going to spit it out into a relay over here. And a relay is basically going to pass it on to the inventory it's adjacent to. So this relay is pointing at this relay. So it's going to put it into this relay. This relay is pointing at this relay. So it's going to put it in this relay. And then finally this relay is pointing to the deployer, which is going to put it into the deployer. For the more experienced Red Power users who are wondering why I didn't use pneumatic tubes for this, well, pneumatic tubes are a lot slower than relays when they need to transfer items. So by using 3 relays over here, I'm basically speeding up the whole process by about 1.5 seconds, I think. Maybe a little bit less, but it's a difference. So at the same time that this block breaker breaks the mining well, this filter is going to activate. So what that does is basically pulling a full slot from the deployer. So imagine that this mining well is deployed. Because the deployer is a valid inventory for the mining well that is next to the deployer, it's basically going to put some blocks into this deployer. So it can look like this. So if we would now just break the mining well and send it over to the deployer, the mining well would be in this slot. And if we would then move again and deploy, then there would be a sandstone block right here, like that. So it's basically screwed. So to prevent that, I'm activating the filter at the same time as I'm breaking the mining well. So what the filter does is it just shift clicks everything that is in the first slot. So it's empty, and then the mining well moves through the relays and it just moves into the spot. So that fixes that problem. That's basically one full cycle. Then there's also the issue with the redstone energy cell running out of energy. That's also very easy. Once this thing runs out, this pipe gate is going to activate and it's going to send a redstone signal. So it's going to activate the turtle over here through this conductive tube. When this turtle receives a redstone signal, it's going to break the redstone energy cell and put it into this ender chest, which has a lot of charged up energy cells. You only need 2 energy cells to have this thing working, in fact, but I've just put a lot of these because I'm in creative. So it's going to put it into this chest and just draw a new one and place that down again. So we are set to go again. So that is basically how the whole thing works. It's probably really complicated to understand because a lot of stuff is going on behind the scenes that I can't really show. But anyways, thank you for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video.